Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome for tonight's exciting West Michigan Conference Championship game at the Shelby Districts here, as the Wildcats of Montague have invaded Shelby High School, where they'll tonight take on the Shelby Tigers in semi-final round competition in district tournaments. Of course, this is the semifinals, as we said, and on Monday night, the Shelby Tigers had a very exciting contest against the Whitehall Vikings, having come back from 15 points behind, I believe, at halftime, and emerging victorious by one late in the game. My name is Larry Lindquist, Assistant Superintendent, Montague Area Schools, and with me again tonight, Jeff Peterson, NBC Teacher and Athletic Director. Jeff, you can't really top a game like that with excitement galore from the beginning to the end.
No, the game Monday night certainly was a barn burner. Shelby got right out to a quick lead, but Whitehall and their never say die attitude came right out in the second half, scored 14 unanswered points, pulled within one, and then actually towards the end of the ballgame, I believe less than a minute, had a 5-point lead and couldn't hang on as the Shelby Tigers on their home court played real tough down the stretch to pull off the victory.
In the second game Monday night, of course, the Hesperia Club came over and defeated the West Michigan Conference Pirates by 15, we believe, 80-65. So in tonight's other semifinal game, the Hesperia Panthers will be playing against the Mason County Central Spartans, who also drew a first-round bye. This is March Madness time, Jeff. The overall records of the two clubs on the court right now would indicate that one has a tremendous advantage over the other. We come into the contest, the Wildcats do, at 18-2, while the Tigers are 7-14 at this point. But when March Madness comes, you can toss those records away.
Yeah, both teams tonight, in fact, if you want to count records in the tournament, Shelby comes in at 1-0, Montague 0-0. And they've both been playing very well as of late. I thought the Wildcats maybe had their finest outing of the year last Friday night in their season-clinching victory against the Ravenna Bulldogs. But not to be topped, Shelby's just playing excellent basketball down the stretch. And they'd won 4 straight going into Monday's game, so that makes it 5, and they're just playing tremendous basketball, getting a lot of contributions from people who earlier in the year were trying to figure out where they were supposed to play.
Well, Jeff, the Shelby Tigers have won 4 in a row. Their overall record is not really impressive, but the fact that they've won that 4 in a row is impressive. Coach Zulik peaking his team right at the right point.
Well, that's the point. You know, the regular season is kind of a warm-up for the state tournament, and a lot of things can happen. You know, not always is the best team, the favorite team, come out of that situation. And we've seen that over and over as we've traveled to the state finals where some people have snuck their way in. And Shelby's got an excellent ball team, and they're looking to pull off a few surprises and see if they can't make their way down to Chrysler.
Well, as we said, these two teams are West Michigan Conference foes and met each other twice during the regular season, with the Wildcats coming out on top both times. But the Wildcats didn't have an easy time against the Tigers in either of those games, especially up here. I would say that the Cats got off to a slow start, had some difficulty, and it took them until late in the contest to really put that one away.
Well, the Cats have to play the game that they know they can play. They have to play real strong. They've got a couple people maybe a little bit under the weather at this point, but they still have to come up with strong performances, which they're very capable. And as I said, they did an excellent job last Friday night. That's the kind of thing they have to repeat.
Okay, now we're on the flag as we near the time for the national anthem. Pre-game activities have concluded on the court, and the public address announcer is about to introduce the national anthem and the starting lineups. National anthem before the starting lineups. You can just feel the excitement and the electricity in the crowd, Jeff. Typical, I suppose, for any important game, but especially during the tournaments.
Well, and especially this is home that Coach Tate used to call his place, and now I get to come back as a visitor, and so it's got that extra special type of flavor. Starting
lineup, starting at one forward, number 50, Tom Cedarquist. And at one forward for the Tigers, number 25, Jamie Beckman, 6'1" junior. Tom Cedarquist, of course, a senior. For the Wildcats now. Starting at the other forward, number 14, Doug Schlaff, 6'2" sophomore. And at forward for the Tigers, number 33, 6'3" junior, Eric Schuckelberg. Back to the Wildcats. For the Cats, very impressive gentleman all season long, number 32, 6'3" center, Jim Grieve. Center for the Shelby Tigers, scored 36 points in Monday night's game. Number 44, Rob Porter, excuse me, 6'6" senior. At one guard for the Wildcats, number 12, 6'1" senior, Paul Schlaff. Another sophomore, number 5, Craig Alexander, 5'10" player at guard. At the other guard position for the Wildcats, another senior, number 40, 5'9" J.J. Flynn. And for the Tigers, at the other guard, number 11, Greg Landis, another junior. Wildcats, of course, coached by Mr. Jim Tate, and the Tigers coached by Mr. Rick Zulik, former student and player for Jim Tate at Shelby. Well, Jeff, this is it.
Yeah, the Wildcats really have to guard against the Tigers getting off to a quick start, and then their wins. The Tigers have been playing an excellent first half basketball and getting teams to play their ball, and that's been the secret to the Wildcats' success, to getting the teams to play their brand of basketball. So I think you get, the team that gets off the quickest and gets the other team to do what they want them to do is a team that you'll see start dominating early.
Rob Porter, Jim Grieve for the tip, and we're going to have another jump, I believe, as the neither player could control the tip. It's the first time I've seen that happen on one of our telecasts, Jeff.
Right. It's a little excitement.
Well, twice in a row it's going to happen, and we're having a little trouble getting underway here. Grieve and Porter.
Well.
Oh, yes. One more attempt. There it goes, and the Wildcats are going to control it with J.J. Flynn picking up the ball. J.J. Flynn at the top. The Tigers, of course, in a man-to-man defense. Paul Schlaff, baseline left, up. No good. Grieve with the rebound attempt with the tip. No good. And the Tigers come down the court for the first chance at scoring. Number 5, no good. And the ball goes out of bounds to the Tigers. That was Craig Alexander with the left side shot for the Tigers.
Yeah, both teams come down running and putting that ball up, not afraid. And, of course, Tigers going to try to get that ball into Robbie Porter, Larry.
Drive through the paint that time by Landis. He gets his own rebound. Back to Landis now. Going to set it up again. Stack offense played probably by both teams. Tom Cedarquist with a nice deflection as the ball was intended inside for Schuckelberg. Outside, rebound by Rob Porter. No good. This time it's off from Tom Cedarquist as the ruling of the official, and it'll be controlled by the Tigers again. Tigers have had possession now for almost the first minute of play.
Now the Wildcats are getting their hands on it, but can't quite get them to turn the ball over.
There's another deflection by Jim Grieve on the inbounds pass intended for Schuckelberg. And the Tigers once again put it into play.
Both teams are a little uptight right now, I think, Larry. Just got to relax a little bit.
Driving shot, basket good by Alexander. Craig Alexander draws first blood for the Tigers. And now the Wildcats come back to the attack. As we said, they'll be used at man-to-man stack offense. Paul Schloff looking in to the basket, up, no good. And Rob Porter has excellent inside position, picks that rebound off the board. The Wildcats need to find a way to contain Rob Porter on the inside, both offensively and defensively, of course. Three-point attempt that time is good. Jamie Beckman with the outside three-pointer puts the Tigers up by 5.
Well, so far, Larry, the Tigers have been a little bit more patient than the Wildcats. Got some good shots and dropped them in a hole.
Tom Cedarquist with a rebound off the missed shot. No good. And the Tigers again seal off that inside. Green got the original rebound that time, put it up, no good. And the second rebound was going to be all white. No good that time from the outside. And Shuckleberg takes the rebound, and we're going to have a foul call in the play, I believe.
I think that was on Tom Cedarquist.
Tom Cedarquist fighting for position in the rebound and draws the first personal. His first and the team's first. There's Rob Porter from the side. Good! Porter with his first bucket of the night. And the Tigers are up by 7, holding the Wildcats scoreless now for over a minute. 5:55 remaining in the first quarter. Paul Schloff driving right baseline. Nothing there. Out to Grieve. Off his leg, but controlled by Doug Schloff. Wildcats need to be patient now. Not try to get everything back at once. The ball's going to go off. It was deflected by Alexander, but it was deflected right off Paul Schloff. So the Tigers will regain control. Thus far, it's been all white, Jeff.
Yes, it has. The Wildcats just out of sync at this point.
Inside the Porter, turn around, no good. Shuckleberg controlling the ball. That time Paul Cedarquist picks off the pass intended for Alexander. Paul Schloff, that is, up for the shot, no good. Grieve! Well, the cover's off now, Jeff.
Well, that was a big basket right there.
There's the pressure defense.
Pressure.
Good result. Quick thought that time by Paul Schloff. He wasn't trying to damage the Shelby player, just knock it off. And into the control of the Wildcats goes the ball once again.
We have our first substitution, Larry. Jason Bobier in for number 33. That's Eric Shuckleberg.
Jim Grieve with the inbounds pass. Good! And the Cats pull back within 3, 7-4 with 5 minutes exactly remaining in the first quarter. Craig Alexander with the inbounds pass. Over the top he goes. That's Bobier back out to the top. Drive, no good that time. That's Greg Landis with the inside attempt, but it went out of bounds now and then will be brought back up by the Wildcats. Dug into brother Paul Schloff. Wildcats need to be patient at this point. Stay in their game plan, not panic. Doug Schloff along
think
the right.
Paul Schloff got away with a little traveling there.
I think a lot of other people thought so too, as Craig Alexander takes the rebound off the missed Schloff shot. Porter up, good. 9-4, 4:20 remaining in the first quarter.
Well, one thing the Wildcats are allowing is Robbie Porter to get the ball, and I think they have to deny him a little bit more because he's really hurting.
I think they're going to have
to
to
and taking it in.
You're going to have to. You're right. You're going to have to front him and get some weak side help, perhaps on the back. Oh, and there Doug Schloff trying to get the ball inside, finds it rolling off his fingertips, and the Tigers come back.
And Tigers are playing with a lot of confidence right now.
They surely are. They surely are. That time, Jim Grieve fronted Porter, and the weak side help came from J.J. Flynn, but he fouled over the back. Rob Smith, Eric Webb, Kevin Bushberger into the lineup for the Cats. Shelby ball out of bounds underneath their own bucket. 3:55 remaining. Landis with the ball, three-point attempt. Short, Jim Grieve picks up the rebound, drops it for Rob Smith. Rob Smith back to Paul Schloff, three-point effort from far out, no good. Eric Webb keeps the ball alive, and the ball is fought for, jump ball, going to be controlled by the Tigers. as Montague controlled the opening tip, Jeff.
Well, Montague just hasn't quite found her range yet, and Shelby's struggling a little bit too, though, last couple minutes, Larry. So it's not been easy for either of them.
That's true. Rob Porter again, in and out. Grieve with nice position that time, and the Wildcats come back down court. Bauschloff with the fake. Eric Webb, little dribble and the short jumper off the glass. Good! Nice to see Eric Webb come off the bench and sink that first one off the glass. Craig Alexander inside to Porter. Ball goes out of bounds. Nice deflection that time by Kevin Bushberger inside.
Well, it was a nice read by the Shelby player to find Porter, but he didn't quite get him the ball.
They definitely looked for Porter. There's the return pass that time to Beckman, and shot is missed. Eric Webb with the ball now. Cats with a chance to tie it on a three-pointer or come back within one with a two-point basket here. Kevin Bushberger driving inside, back out to Grieve, up. Good! Grieve with that patented short jumper has hit two of them so far now.
He's got such a nice, sweet shot. I think that's three, Larry.
Is that three? Okay.
I think he has 6 of the 8, and then and Eric Webb has the other 2.
Greg Landis looking to set up the play. Stack offense here, goes inside to Porter. That time he was fronted by Grieve, and Smith came up from the backside.
No, it's what's been impressive about the Cats so far is they got down 7-zip, but just kind of taking their time, done what they do well, and they've worked themselves right back up within one now, 9-8.
And we need to keep in mind as well that the Cats have been slow to start several games this season. Rob Smith inside is going to be called for the foul, draws a foul on Beaubier, Jason Beaubier, number 35. And Doug Schloff coming back in for the Wildcats.
And in for Shelby, that's Dwayne Bruce. 6'3", Senior, right.
Dwayne Bruce got lots of playing time in the other 2 games against the Wildcats, as well as Shuckleber and Beaubier. Paul Schloff setting it up. Eric Webb on the left. Back out to Doug Schloff now. Looking inside, nothing there. Paul drives right, up with a shot. Good! And the Cats take the lead. First time they've had the lead all night. 10-8, a minute and 44 remaining in the first quarter. Pass goes over the top, picked up by Alexander. Rob Smith picks off the pass that was intended for Jamie Beckman. Rob Smith down court, left-handed layup. Nice move by Rob Smith. Coast to coast.
Just beautiful.
Rob Smith wasn't feeling all that well this week, but he sure looked good on that one. Greg Landis, down low. Beckman back to Landis. That time a nice deflection by Eric Webb.
Nice play by Eric Webb. Beautiful.
Okay, and Webb misses the basket, but he's fouled on the way up by Beckman, number 25. I think that'd be a 2-shot foul, and Beckman I don't think intended to really hurt Eric on that, but he knew he was going to have Eric miss the basket.
That's right. At that point, you either let him have the easy 2 or you make him go to the line and get 2, and I think it was a wise foul.
Kevin Bushberger back in for the Wildcats. Eric Webb at the line. Two shots. Misses the first. Eric Webb, it was exactly 500 from the line coming into tonight, so he's just fallen a bit below now, but he has a chance to bring it back. And he does. Makes the score 13-9, Cats. Minute and 8 seconds in the first stanza.
And the Cats pull back into a half-court defense at that time.
Landis dribbling left, trying to look for Porter. Nice defense that time. Back out, now inside to Porter. Turnaround jumper is no good. Tip is no good. Doug Schloff with the rebound. 3-on-2. Doug Schloff up with a shot. He too is going to be fouled as the shot was going up, I believe.
Well, one of the things I've noticed, Larry, that's got the Cats back in it here in the first quarter is they've started to run a little bit more. They've got some good breaks, take the ball and go with it, and they've got 3-on-2s, 3-on-1s, and they've capitalized, either going to the line or get an easy bucket.
First foul on Craig Alexander. It's the team's third foul. Doug is good on the first attempt from the charity stripe. Doug's a 76% free throw shooter this year so far. Short on that one, and Beckman gets the rebounds. 38 seconds left, 14-9 Cats. Tigers looking to probably get the last good shot here. Alexander, everybody looks to Porter. Porter wants the ball, can't get it right now. We've done a good job on Porter this quarter, Jeff.
Yes, they have. They've done an excellent job.
There is Porter inside. Turn around, good! Porter has worked for years, literally years, to bring himself to the point where he is, according to several sources we have. Rob Smith crossed to Jim Grieve. Nice teamwork that time.
Beautiful. With no time left on the clock, that's what's nice about it. You don't get that chance to come back. So we close the first quarter, Larry, with the score, the Montague Wildcats 16 and the host Shelby Tigers 11.
Jeff, we're going to pause at this point for a brief word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Didn't give it up, stuck to the game plan, and it came true.
Well, 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. They were down 7-zip. And the last 5 minutes of the quarter, they outscored their foes 16-4. And they pulled themselves back into a 5-point lead, and now they got the ball out of bounds, and hopefully they can push it back again to a 7-point lead on the first possession. I'm sure Coach Rick Zulik and the rest of his coaching staff, freshman coach Andy Melboff and Brian Wright, the JV coach, tried to figure something out to stop that onslaught that the Wildcats had.
Starting lineup for the Wildcats is back in there except Rob Smith. Ball goes off from Porter's hands and be controlled by the Wildcats. J.J. Flynn into Paul. Paul looking inside, now back out to Doug Schlaff. J.J. Flynn on the left. Drives. Going to count the basket, says the official. J.J. draws a foul. It makes it 18-11.
Well, I think Rick Zulik's a little bit upset by that, and I don't know that I don't blame him because that was an NBA call. That was a continuation
I think so, a
foul.
continuation. The whistle obviously blew before the basket went up or the shot went up. But if you're a Wildcat fan, that's a good break to get.
That's right. High school rules say, though, that when the foul is called, that the play stops immediately at that point. And
Grieve with the rebound off the missed free throw. Goes back out of bounds and controlled by the Wildcats. J.J. Flynn looking inside to Grieve, and it's knocked out of bounds by Porter. Almost got photographer, editor Greg Means that time under the basket, Jeff. Back over the top, out front to Doug Schlaff. There's J.J. again with the ball. Ball Schlaff, little head fake. Nothing there with Alexander, sticking right with him. Doug Schlaff now on top. Patience being shown this time by the Cats. J.J. Flynn inside to Rob Smith. It's out of bounds to the Cats. That time off from Dwayne Bruce, number 55. Here comes Eric Shucklebur back in for the Tigers.
This reminds us of the first quarter, about maybe the 2-minute mark, where the Tigers held the ball for a long time, and the Cats got their hand on it, but just couldn't get the turnover. We got the same situation here.
Doug Schlaff with the paint drive. There's no paint there, but lane drive puts it up and no good, but again goes off the Tigers.
And two Shelby Tigers are right there to get the rebound and went off both of them.
Doug Schlaff gets the ball away from the defender. Rob Smith up and good.
Boy,
nice control that time.
Yeah, you can't give a team that many tries at the basket. They're bound to get take advantage of it, and that's exactly what Montague did.
9-point lead, biggest lead of the night for either team now, 20-11. From the top of the key, a shot is taken by Dwayne Bruce. It's no good, and I think Doug Schlaff is going to pick up the foul away from the ball. As the shot went up, he was fighting for a position for the rebound and was called for the foul. That's his first and the team's third. Porter right underneath there.
Yeah, and somebody just didn't follow where they're supposed to be because Porter was wide open, all by himself. And the Tigers now putting a little all-cart pressure on.
But the Wildcats break it quite easily that time. Bring it back down court. Paul Schlaff outside, no good on the three-pointer. Rob Smith the rebound, up, no good. Foul on Dwayne Bruce. Jeff, you know, we commented once, I think, maybe, I don't remember what game, but Rob Smith certainly is clever with the use of his body.
He certainly is, and he's got a knack about getting people to leave their feet, turn their body, and then he goes up and he kind of gets into them, and they come down on him, and he's going to draw the foul because he's got the ball, and that's just very clever.
80% from the line is Rob Smith for the season. That one has a nice roll to it, good touch. We'll take it. Didn't look as nice as some others, but it's a good one for us.
It looks the same in the book.
6:31 and a half. That one looked better. We'll take them both. 22-13. 9-point lead again for the Wildcats. Landis coming down to the top of the key. Off to Craig Alexander. One dribble up. No good. Fouls his own shot. Gets the rebound. That's Shuckleberg with the ball. Back out on top to Dwayne Bruce. No good. He follows his shot. Gets the rebound. No good. Shuckleberg underneath. Good. Perseverance paid off for the Tigers.
Well, this is what we talked about the Cats. You give them that many chances, they're going to get something out of it.
And we didn't have much good rebounding position during that whole possession for the Tigers.
And we didn't really challenge them either on the shots.
J.J. Flynn from three-point land, no good. And the Tigers going to come up with a rebound, or are they? Yes, they do. That's Dwayne Bruce. Finally comes out of the pack with the ball. No good on the shot. Doug Schlaff that time inside of Porter. Back down to J.J. Flynn. Blocked that time. I think he was looking for Grieve on the right side, but three Tigers surrounded him and knocked the ball away.
Well, they're letting him play, Larry.
That's true. Inside it goes to Shuckleberg. Good! Back within 5. The Tigers have stormed themselves into contention once again. Across the timeline to Rob Smith. Dribbling down court. Brings it back. There's Paul Schlaff outside. Just inside three-point range. Good! Back to a 7-point lead for the Cats.
I'll tell you, Larry, the best way to beat a press, though, is when you get it down there, make them pay. You can't come down and just set it up. You got to take it right to the basket. You got to make them foul. You got to go to the line, or you got to drop the ball in the hole for 2. And that's going to make them pull back out of that. Be a little bit more ginger on that press.
Nice turnaround jumper off the glass by Eric Shuckleberg. 24-19 Cats. 4:35 remaining in the first half. Off from JJ's knee or Rob's knee that time. So it's going to be controlled by the Tigers. Dennis Flynn, Tom Cedarquist, and Eric Webb into the game for the Cats. And number 40, Adam Schultz, coming in for the Tigers. Well, this game has been a close one for the most part. Jeff?
One thing in the Cats' favor, I think that they've played a lot more people, and they've got to be just that much fresher comes game time. Nice
Beautiful block.
Beautiful block.
Tom Cedarquist. Rebound by Doug Schlaff. Nobody on the right side.
Here's a 3-on-2, 3-on-3.
Eric Webb looking inside to Tom Cedarquist. He has it blocked. Porter returns the favor to Tom Cedarquist.
That was also a very nice block.
It certainly was. Dennis Flynn having trouble controlling the inbounds pass. Tom Cedarquist back down court in a hurry.
Beautiful play.
Intercepts the pass. Now the Tigers come back. Paul Schlaff, baseline drive. It's going to be called for carrying the ball, Jeff.
As I said, they're letting them play. That definitely was a carry. I think some of the fans thought that Paul might have been fouled before that, though.
Greg Landis looking inside for Porter, finds him on the right side. Turnaround jumper, no good. Dennis Flynn picks off the rebound. Nice inside position by both Tom Cedarquist and Dennis Flynn that time.
Well, you got some real workhorses in there now, and Tom and Dennis, they're not going to be pushed around.
Doug Schlaff driving right, nothing there. Baseline block nicely that time.
Tigers are playing excellent man-to-man defense, Larry. Real tight.
Paul Schlaff from the free throw line with a jumper makes it 26-19 Cats. 3:15 remaining in a half.
Wildcats have taken advantage of what we've given them, but I'll tell you what, they're not giving you the baseline. They're cutting it right off. Landis comes right back and scores two. Awkward shot, but he got it to drop.
Nice body control as he went down through the lane. Tom Cedarquist back to Dennis Flynn. Off the glass, no good. Tom Cedarquist trying to keep it in cat control. Guess he must have tipped it off from the Tiger defender, and Montague retains possession. Jamie Beckman and Craig Alexander back in for the Tigers. Both coaches running troops in there to keep their legs fresh. Very important contest, and you want to take advantage of as many opportunities as you can, of course. Paul Schlaff gets his brother's rebound. A reach-in call is going to be made against Greg Landis, number 11. Landis was with the foul. That's the fifth team foul, so the Cats will find themselves at the line, I believe.
I didn't think they were going to call that one, Larry, because they haven't been calling those type fouls tonight. But as it is, Paul's on the line shooting 1-1.
Paul Schlaff sinks the first. He's the leading Cat free throw shooter. A little over 82% for the year.
And that's tremendous, I'll tell you. That is just outstanding.
6-2 from the line. Gives the Cat a 7-point bulge again. 2:47 remaining in the first half. Craig Alexander into Jamie Beckman. Shuckleberg with the miss, but Porter gets a rebound, can't find a hole. And the Tigers had a little tough luck that time. Pretty good shots taken, but no results on the board. Paul Schlaff over to Doug. He loses it that time to Greg Landis. Nice steal. Jimmy Beckman, no good, and Grieve comes off with the rebound. Wildcats have had quite a few turnovers, but that time they escaped, Jeff.
That's right. That showed good quickness by the Tigers out there as they stole that ball very cleanly from Doug Schlaff.
Eric Webb driving the lane, puts it up. No good, but the foul is going to be called against, I think that's Shuckleberg, I'm not sure. Number 33, yes it is Shuckleberg. Rob Smith coming back into the game. 7-point lead, 1:56 remaining in the half. Dennis Flynn gets a nice hand coming out of the contest. Kevin Bushberger also going back in for Paul Schlaff. It was the first foul on Shuckleberg.
Well, Larry, I noticed that Coach Tate is rotating a lot of people in now, getting all of his players in off the floor, and I'm sure Coach Zulik would like to do the same, but I've noticed he's had to leave, or at least he's felt he's had to leave a couple of those players out there on the court, and they played that whole first half, and I wonder what it's going to be like in that fourth quarter for them.
Could be a telling difference. Eric Webb having difficulty from the line that trip, and Craig Alexander brings the ball down for Shelby. Alexander trying to set up the offense now. Landis pops out from the three-point line. Eric Webb knocks the ball away as the pass was intended for Rob Porter. You know, Jeff, on Monday night, Porter had 22 points in the first half. I don't know how many he has right now, but I'm sure it's far short of 22.
Yeah, I believe he's probably pushing maybe 10, but that's about as far as it is.
There he gets another 2, however.
Maybe 12.
Maybe 12, right. Porter's an excellent post player.
I think you got to make him shoot with his back to the basket, turn around. You can't give him that.
Rob Smith too hard that time on the push.
A frontal shot like we've been giving him tonight, because he's awful tough on that.
5 points difference right now, 28-23, minute and 10. Paul Schlaff with the steal. Pass from Alexander intended for Beckman, no good, and Paul Schlaff converts the 2.
Sweet steal by Paul Schlaff, and that just kind of epitomizes the kind of season he's had and the kind of leadership he's given us.
We've had 3 steals of that nature and capitalized with 5 points on those in the first half. Craig Alexander from outside, a nice shot for the Tigers. 30-25, 43 seconds left in the half. Eric Webb along the right side, switches hands, inside dribble, shot, no good. Rob Porter with the rebounds, and we needed to be a little more patient that time, Jeff.
Yes, right.
I think Coach Tate would probably have wanted us to set up our offense there. Rob Porter again, working on Grieve. short that time.
That's
Rob
what I'm talking
Smith.
about, Larry. I think we have to get Rob Porter to play more with his back to the basket and instead of letting him face the basket to receive the ball, because you get doing that, he can do a lot of things. And that time Jim made him post up, and he was a little bit short on his fadeaway.
Jeff, that was just the Wildcats' fourth personal for the half, and so they've gone all but 20 seconds without the bonus on the board. Porter again from outside and gets the bounce that time. Wildcats up by 3 with 10 seconds left. Paul Schlaff working over to Eric Webb. Webb driving the inside. No good. Porter comes away with the ball, and that's the end of the first half with the score. Montague 30, Shelby 27. Jeff, 3-point difference is not enough to relax with, for sure.
Oh, certainly not on the other team's home court either. Shelby, right at the end, came on quite strong, and they were down by 7 with about a minute to go, and pulled it back, as I said, within 3.
Coach Tate conferring with the officials as the half ends before he goes in the locker room to fire up his team. I don't think they really need to be fired up. I'm sure they're fired up just to regather their thoughts a little bit before they come back to the attack.
Well, I think they're also checking with officials. How are you calling this game? Because at times you're letting a lot of things go, and then all of a sudden a little push here, a shove here, and it doesn't amount to much, or at least it doesn't appear to, and then all of a sudden we get a call. So he wants to make sure that when he goes in and tells his players what's going to happen out there, he knows exactly what's going to happen or what should be happening.
Well, Jeff, I think at this point we'll pause during halftime activities, and we'll be back for the start of second half action in just a couple minutes. Welcome back, everyone, to Shelby High School, where we're about to begin second half action in tonight's exciting contest between the Shelby Tigers and the Montague Wildcats. Montague holding on to a slim 3-point margin, 30-27, as we're 16 minutes away, plus a little in the half, from the end of somebody's season.
That's the thing about this tournament. You have one bad night or one bad quarter or one bad span of a minute if you're close, and it could be all over for you. And you just hang them up and you come back at it next season.
Well, Jeff, the winner of tonight's game will be playing tomorrow night, Friday night. I believe the game time is 7:30 here at Shelby High School in the finals. Second game tonight, which we're not going to be broadcasting, but it will be the Hesperia Panthers against the Mason County Central Spartans. The Spartans have had ups and downs throughout the season, and the Panthers have not had a very successful season as well. Really, I think right now, Jeff, looking at who's left, Montague is the only team with a winning record for the season coming into tournament action tonight.
And although
that is in this district.
Yes, and although the Hesperia Panthers had a very good game on Monday, and Skyville really started to come around a little bit at the end of the season, the two teams right out here tonight in this particular game got to be the favorites for this tournament. And as we said, Shelby's playing so well at the end of the season, and Montague's done well all year long.
Jeff, we want to just remind folks, too, that regardless of the outcome of tonight's contest, no matter who wins, we'll be back on the air broadcasting the finals in this district tournament action from Shelby High School. The game time is 7:30 Friday night, but the viewers on Centel Cable Television will be viewing the games 7:30 Sunday night, the 5th of March. So we invite the fans to tune back in Sunday night to see the conclusion of the district tournaments. Just a word about district tournaments. Whoever comes out of this district will move to the Grand Rapids Regional, Godwin Heights I believe it is, and they'll be playing the winner of the Ravenna districts. Ravenna hosting their own districts this season. And the Bulldogs lost a real close contest by 1 point, I believe, to Muskegon Catholic Central, 69-68. And Oak Ridge defeated Grant so far in that district, 80-67 or something like that.
I just was going to make mention of how the other conference schools have done, Larry. Of course, we've had two eliminated here, Hart and Whitehall in this district, and tonight at least one other one will be eliminated. North Muskegon has been eliminated in a close shootout with West Michigan Christian in Class D. And then, as you mentioned earlier, Ravenna eliminated by Muskegon Catholic, and Oak Ridge moves on into the semis with a victory last night against Grant. And here we go, as you said, for the final 16 minutes of the season for one team, and we certainly hope that's not the Wildcats.
That's for sure. Now Shelby is back out on the court as we await the start of action. The Wildcats now walking out, or running out, as it were, to the contest.
And we've got the same starting lineups for both squads out there, I believe, Larry.
You're right. Inside it goes to Porter right away to start the second half. No good, but Shuckleborough is underneath. Shot is missed from the inside, but he draws the foul. Tom Cedarquist was not unable to gain inside position that time, and as a result, drew the foul over the back during the shot. 2 shots for Shuckleborough.
Well, one of the things I'm sure Coach Tate talked about with his Wildcats is the rebound position at halftime, as the Tigers have been real strong in the first half. But if you look at that first one, it appears that maybe it's going to have to. They're going to have to work on it a little bit harder than that.
Shuckleborough does the Cats a favor by missing the first free throw, and also the second. Cedarquist comes off the boards with the ball, and here come the Cats.
Well, you can't miss those opportunities, and they had an excellent opportunity to get within one and couldn't convert.
Nice spin turn that time by by Paul Schlaff. Can't make it go, and Grieve has the rebound, knocked out of his hand as the shot was going up. J.J. Flynn inside, look, nothing there. Back out of the top, over the top to Doug Schlaff. J.J. Flynn on the left now. Looking back, Paul Schlaff. Nothing there, back to the right side. Now we'll set again. J.J. Flynn popping out, looking for Jim Grieve underneath. Porter's on him closely. Doug Schlaff to the right. In the backside of the rim was the ball, and pops back out to the Tigers. Landis off to Beckman. Back to Landis. Porter posting up. Nothing there. Stack offense. Porter got the ball on the inside. Was fouled on the turnaround, I think, by JJ. Officials conferring.
I think the ball was out of bounds as he was passing off when he got fouled. Referee caught him on the arm.
Was the personal on J.J. Flynn. Team's first of the half.
I'd like to see the Wildcats try to get the ball to Jim Grieve up inside. As I think maybe they could get Robbie Porter in some foul trouble if Jim just took it to the hole once he got it in there.
Craig Alexander off the right side to Greg Landis. Good, nice jump shot that time from the baseline by Greg Landis. That 3-point lead has evaporated into one. JJ off to Paul. Paul driving the center, drops it off to Grieve. Turnaround jumper, just won't quite go. Cedarquist up, good! What position and a return basket by Cedarquist.
There's Tom Cedarquist again on a time when it's really crucial.
And he had 3 Tigers around him that time too. Beckman from the side, good! Back to 1 point, 32-31. J.J. Flynn bringing up the ball. Both teams playing tough defense. Cedarquist from J.J. Flynn misses at that time, and Rob Porter grabs the ball.
And the Tigers, with this possession, can regain the lead, Larry.
For the first time since late in the first quarter. And they do take the lead. Another jumper by Beckman. Beckman's hot right now, 2 in a row for him. 33-32 Shelby.
Now somebody's got to deny him the ball because he's got that feel, and you don't want somebody to do that.
5:25 remaining in the third quarter. Paul Schlaff off to Doug. Doug driving the lane. Up, good. Well, yes, it is good. I wasn't sure for a second. Official does give us the good sign. Nice drive that time by Doug Schlaff. The foul is on Shuckleborough. By the way, JJ's foul on the other one a while ago was his second. Tom Cedarquist being replaced by Rob Smith. Doug Schlaff on the line. It was Shuckleborough's second foul. Up short, and Beckman gets the rebound. Tigers sealed off the lane well that time and grabbed that rebound. Off to Craig Alexander on the right. Dribble center, up, good. Nice stop and vertical jump that time.
Well, the little guys for the Tigers are hurting us right now, Larry, as they've been pumping in jump shot after jump shot, and they put the Tigers back in the lead by 1.
They've outscored the Cats 8-4 in this run. Another shot is no good, and here comes Craig Alexander driving right, looking for Porter. Porter trying to front on Jim Grieve. Jim doing a nice job on him. Ball is saved by the Tigers. Tigers possession. Kevin Bushberger and Eric Webb coming in for Montague. 4:31 in the third quarter. 35-34 Shelby. Jamie Beckman waiting for the ball. Back out to Craig Alexander on the top. Tigers set it up again. That same stack that the Wildcats use. Rob Smith with inside position but couldn't quite hold the ball. That time the shot is short by Landis. Finally picked up by Eric Webb. Comes out of the pack. Here's a 3-on-1 break. Eric Webb, good! Nice
that was a nice play.
Eric Webb never hesitated that time. Drove right down the lane, up and scored.
Well, he set his man up so beautiful, Larry, and then just went right to the hole with the ball for the easy 2.
Other side, shot is missed by Beckman, and
here
Rob
the Cats
Smith
are
with the
running
rebound.
again.
Paul Schloff, shot, no good, and Rob Porter. That time we didn't have anybody underneath the basket for the boards, and the Cats come away with a 1-point lead, but without the ball. Craig Alexander driving left, Porter screening.
Nice.
Eric Webb, not.
Excellent steal by Eric Webb and save. Beautiful.
Eric Webb with nice body control as he was going out of bounds, turned, looked, and fired it back into Paul. Paul Schloff driving the right baseline up. Too hard that time, bounced off on the back side of the rim. And once again, we're only getting one shot, Jeff, on the offensive end
not
here.
getting any movement. I think Paul's trying to do a little bit too much at this time instead of just getting that ball moving, reverse it, see if you can't get down low inside and take advantage of people inside.
Craig Alexander going back to the top, looking to set it up. Rob Porter, there's the turnaround jumper, no good, and Kevin Bushberger gets the rebound. Kevin Bushberger driving against the Tigers, loses it, and now Shelby has a 2-on-1 break. Craig Alexander fouled. Eric Webb with the personal on the shot. Craig Alexander and Greg Landis, 2-on-1 break, and they're going to get a shot from the line. Doug Schloff coming in for Paul, and Jason Beaubier coming in for the Tigers as well, replacing Schuckelber. Alexander at the Tiger line. The chance to tie it up and go ahead. Neither team's had much success at the free throw line this half, Jeff.
No, they certainly haven't.
The third personal on the Wildcats for the half.
Yes.
Shelby has one.
Complete contrast to the first half when the Wildcats never were in jeopardy of even putting the Tigers at a 1-on-1 situation.
Alexander ties it with that one. Pressure shot here. But he doesn't bow to the pressure. Nice, cool, good form. And he puts the Tigers up by 1, 37-36.
And Adam Schultz is in for the Tigers, number 40.
2:37 remaining in the third quarter. Eric Webb looking right, now driving right. Trying to get it into Rob, nothing there. That's Kevin Bushberger with the outside jumper. Off the rim, and there's inside position that time. And take note, several of those Shelby rebounds have been taken off the boards by the shorter people on the court.
Well, I've been very impressed with the Tigers so far in sealing off the inside. They just don't allow you to get that second shot.
Beaubier, good from the free throw line. Puts the Tigers up by 3. First time they've enjoyed a 3-point lead since early in the contest. 1:55 remaining in the third quarter. Doug Schloff popping out behind Rob Smith. Looking to Rob. Rob has it. Back to Doug. baseline move, no good. Rob Smith from the outside looking in. Now it's Kevin off to Eric. Eric with a nice move, underhanded scoop. Good sense of where he was and what was happening at that time, Jeff. He knew, I think he thought at least he was going to be fouled and went ahead with a shot.
We gave the good fake, Larry, the hedge fake, and got the Shelby player to commit. And when he did that, he just kind of leaned up in there and tried to drop it up on through.
Paul Schloff back in for the Cats. And Dwayne Bruce for the Tigers.
And he's in there for Jamie Beckman, who recorded his third foul on that foul.
That could be significant the way Beckman is playing this half. Eric Webb finds the touch that time.
Well, Larry, one of our big pluses this year is that we've been able to hit the foul shots, and that has not been kind to us tonight, but
I think the official's going to deny that basket there, as he stepped over the basket, over the line. So the score remains 39-37 Tigers. Eric Webb with the reach in that time as Greg Landis was dribbling down the court. Eric putting the pressure on, draws the personal. Tigers ball at midcourt. That's Eric's second foul of the night. It's going to be a blue ball. Ruling was that it went off from Landis on the inbounds pass. I don't think Rick Zulik, sitting near the play, agreed, but
coaches never do if it goes against their players. I know. I sat there enough and realized that I never agreed.
Tiger guards are just giving the Wildcats fits this half. Nice steal that time by Landis. What hustle.
Good quickness again. Good hands.
Porter, turnaround, no good. And we're going to have a foul call on the play on number 14, Doug Schloff. Landis and Doug were going after the rebound, and Doug came down over the back.
Well, and now they're in a 1-on-1 situation, Larry. And with 1:08 to go in the third quarter and all fourth quarter, you're going to see him at the line every time there's a foul call.
That's Doug's second personal, I believe. Rob Smith being replaced by Tom Cedarquist underneath. Jason Beaubier finds himself at the charity stripe. Nice smooth shot by Beaubier.
And that puts the Tigers back on top, 40-37.
6'2" senior, shooting some of the most critical free throws of his career. Misses that one. Jim Grieve comes down with the rebound. Jeff, we haven't been able to get Jim Grieve in the offense an awful lot tonight. Jim Grieve ends up with the ball with the outside shot, no good. Eric Webb comes back with the rebound.
No, we haven't, Larry. And Jim just looks like he's totally out of sync even on the rebounds, and just hasn't got up and got position or got up that customary jumping ability that I've seen him do all year long.
There's Eric, back to Paul, three-point shot. Short. Beaubier inside position that time. Rebounds, Tigers. 40-37 lead by the Tigers. 29 seconds left in the third quarter. Greg Landis putting the move on Eric Webb, shakes him and gets the basket. Good use of the screen that time, Jeff.
Yes, excellent. As I said, the Tigers are playing just excellent basketball, doing something they've done for the last part of this season.
5-point lead for the Tigers. Now a 2-point basket by Doug Schloff. Long shot at the buzzer, falls just short.
And that would have counted, Larry.
Yes, it would have. End of the third quarter finds a score. Shelby 42, Montague 39. And fans will be right back after this message from our sponsors. Excuse me. And the Tigers came up with 15 big ones.
Well, I was just going to mention that the Cats were outscored by 6 points that quarter, and they have to get it back together. They just look kind of disheveled out there, not sure what each other's doing. At times, maybe one player trying to do too much and everybody else standing around. This is the quarter. It all boils down to. Doesn't matter what happened at half. It doesn't matter what happened in the first quarter or in the third quarter. This is the one that counts right here.
Or all season long, for that matter.
That's right.
Remember, we mentioned that records mean nothing in tournament action, and Doug Schloff caught himself before he threw it back over the timeline there. Wildcats haven't found themselves in this position too often, down by 5 with only 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the contest.
Yeah, not 5 yet. It's still just 3.
Oh, excuse me, 3, I'm sorry.
Make that
Paul Schloff, 3 points. Draws the Cats to a tie, 42 all. Landis going through the defense there. Inside rebound by Beaubier, no good. Beaubier again. Jason, good hustle by Jason Beaubier. What a shot.
Yeah, just stuck right with it. You know, no Cats were there trying to out-rebound. Just standing there, and you just can't do that. This is crunch time here, and they have to put some quality minutes in.
Paul Schloff, good.
I guess that's pretty quality right there.
45-45 as the Cats regain the lead. What a turnaround for the Cats. 6 quick points bring them back to a 1-point advantage. Landis driving left.
Well,
traveling.
There was a case where Landis drove. He thought Robbie Porter was going to kind of drop off. It was going to be that pick and roll. And Jim Grieve held him there and wouldn't let him release. And when that happened, he had to come down, nobody to pass it to.
Real nice defensive play by Jim Grieve that time. Craig
Jim
Alexander
has to turn it up a notch too, Larry, offensively and defensively, and especially we need his strength on the boards.
Doug Schloff from the corner, no good. Grieve knocks it loose, controlled by Webb, up, good! I don't think Eric Webb really wanted to shoot that at first, but he came through for the Cats. 47-44. Blocking foul is the call against the Wildcats. Doug Schloff, as he didn't quite establish position, let the man get behind him that time, Jeff, and couldn't catch up with the play.
Yeah, that was on the press. You're double teaming, you're going to get caught like that. As I said, the best way to beat a press is you take it to the hole and make them pay, either going to the line or you're going to drop the ball through for 2, and that's what the Tigers did.
Dwayne Bruce for the Shelby club is going to get 2 charity tosses here. Oh, it's a 1-and-1, I'm sorry. And he is going to get 2, Jeff, as he comes through in the clutch. Congratulated by teammate Beaubier. Tigers can pull within 1. 47-45 with 6:24 remaining right now. Well, he doesn't hesitate at all from the line, Jeff. No hesitation whatsoever, and he goes right through with it. Going to come off the court, replaced by Jamie Beckman. Nice hand for those critical free throws. Good relief minutes by the 3 players that Rick Zulik has had on the court from time to time tonight.
You know, they've just played excellent ball. He's got contributions from all his players, and that's exactly what he wants to do. Tigers in a zone right now, and
Doug Schloff gets the basket, but he rather forced the shot, Jeff.
Yeah, that was really not a quality shot that Coach Tate wanted, but you know, it went, and as I said before, it looks good in the book.
Craig Alexander driving on the top. Now slowing action down as he's being the field general out there right now. Inside it goes to Porter. Porter's going to be called for the offensive foul. Rob Smith had nice position on the inside that time. When Porter turned around,
the question here, did he have room to come down? Well, Rob Smith had a space established behind him, and Robbie Porter had his space when he went up. And he has to come back down in that area. He didn't do that. Slammed into Rob Smith, and offensive call was called. That was the correct call.
That's what the 2 players were asking the official about, and the official ruled that he did have the room. 49-46 Wildcats, 5:35 remaining. Eric Webb drives to the inside and is fouled by Greg Landis from the outside. Well, Jeff, if you're a Tiger fan, it's not all that bad to have Eric Webb at the line rather than shooting those 2-point field goals. He's only about 50% from the line.
Well, the Tigers are trying to do a little bit of trap now over on when they come into half court. They just bring their point man over on the side, and they've got the wing there, and they just try to trap the ball. And the way to beat that is just to swing it back around to the opposite side, take it to the hole, and there's got to be a couple people open then, because people have to adjust. They have to come to the ball, and when they do that, they leave people either open at the ball or underneath. The Wildcats, Larry, have a 3-point lead right now and have an opportunity to run it to 5 with free throws.
Okay, Jeff, we're going to take another timeout for an important message from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Well, holding their opponents to less, of course, and that's a good sign for the Cats. They've come out strong here in the fourth quarter, knowing that it's decision time right here.
Well, as we said earlier, you know, one of these teams is going to put its uniforms away, and Shelby proved the other night they're ready to play ball. They came out and played tough down the stretch against a good group of Whitehall Vikings, and the Wildcats have to be conscious of that and just come out and play tough.
Eric Webb converts 1 of 2, 50-46 Wildcats. Craig Alexander. Jamie Beckman with the inside move, nothing there. Rob Smith with an important rebound. Eric Webb driving the length of the court, scores.
I'll tell you, Eric Webb just blew by Jamie Beckman right to the basket and made sure as he went up strong that basket for 2.
Cats up by 6. 5 minutes exactly remaining. Jimmy Beckman looking for Porter, overthrows him. Rob Smith trying to control the ball and does. Now it's ahead to Paul Schlaff. Paul Schlaff driving baseline left. As he drew up with the ball, Landis, I believe, is going to be called for his personal. Yes, that's the call. Greg Landis with the personal.
Well, that was a frustration foul there, Larry. They thought that Robbie Smith should have been called for traveling down here, and when he wasn't, got the ball to Paul Schlaff, and Landis just grabbed him out of frustration.
Team's leading free throw shooter on the line, in the person of Paul Schlaff, 82 and a little more %. Good on the first of a 1 and bonus situation. We've mentioned Jim Grieve. He's the leading field goal shooter on the Cats team. He's made over 62% of his shots from the floor, and he may be at 62% tonight, but he hasn't had all that many shots, Jeff. I don't know what his total points might be, but he's been contained effectively by the Tigers. Paul Schlaff sinks the next one. 8-point lead, the biggest lead of the half for the Cats. 4:45 remaining in the game. Greg Landis underneath on the right, puts a 3-point shot up, short. Jim Grieve gets the ball, back to Paul Schlaff. Now the Cats can take a little time off the clock. They don't need to be in a stall necessarily, of course, but they can take a little time off the clock. Be patient. And I believe they're going to be in their stack offense yet. But they can't seem to get it together.
And that's what they have to be cautious of.
Grieve with the turnaround. Good over Porter. Nice touch by Jim Grieve.
That's what we've grown accustomed to as the Cats now push their lead out to 10, 56-46.
Doug Schlaff with a takeaway attempt on Porter. The shot or the pass coming in from Landis. Draws the personal. Jamie Beckman back in for the Tigers here, replacing Landis. J.J. Flynn is coming into the game for the Wildcats. Porter's going to be on the line. I think it's only the second time he's been on the line tonight, Jeff. I think he sank the other 2 attempts that he had.
You know, really, if you think about it, he has not touched the ball very much this whole second half, and especially this fourth quarter. I don't think he's had in his hands maybe more than 2 or 3 times this fourth quarter. 4 minutes have already elapsed.
You're right, Jeff. Porter grabs the first free throw. By the way, that was the 4th personal on Doug Schlaff, a real critical foul called on Doug. 2 for Porter brings the Tigers within 8, 48-56. 3:54 remaining. Eric Webb bringing the ball across the timeline. Jim Grieve back to J.J. Flynn. Shot no good. Kept alive now by JJ.
Nice
Bringing it back
play
out
by
on top.
JJ Flynn. And Paul Schlaff is hurt. I think he turned an ankle.
We have a timeout on the floor, I believe, called by the official. Official timeout from the injury of Paul, who was slow to get up from the lane. I think we're going to have a timeout charged against the Wildcats at this point.
That's a difficult call for the official, but it's the right call. You make that. If you think there's an injury or somebody, you can't call it while the play's going on and there might be a basket or a turnover if the other team has it. But as soon as it calmed down, they brought the ball out. The official did the right thing, called a timeout, and to see if the player was injured. That's the most important thing, is the player's safety, so that's a very good call.
Jeff, we're going to take just a minute here to say thanks to some very important people without whom our productions year-long could not have taken place. Centel Cable Television, Mr. Steve Jones and his crew have been excellent supporters of our school attempts at bringing you basketball action all season long, along with some other activities, of course. And we just say thanks to Cable Television crew for that help. Remind you that, again, we'll be on the air regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, 7:30 Sunday night with the finals in the Shelby District Tournament. We also want to say thanks to all the people who have seen fit to be sponsors of our athletic broadcasts throughout the entire season.
Well,
play is resumed.
This is a big challenge for the Wildcats without Paul in there. We'll see how they do. They go into a spread now, and JJ controlling the ball.
Real important to be very patient here. Rob Smith back out top now. Now is when you need your best ball handlers in there, Jeff. And we're going to have a foul called on Strong. Mike Strong, who just went into the game a few minutes ago, draws the personal.
Yeah. Well, Eric's got to handle that ball just a little bit better. He can't lay it out there like that because the Tigers got some awful quick people in there, and they almost got a steal. It's just good ball handling and control is what's going to help the Wildcats down the stretch at this point.
Paul Schloff back in for the Wildcats. Strong replaced for the Tigers. Webb on the line, short. Jason Beaubier with the rebound. I'm impressed by the way Beaubier's been playing tonight, Jeff.
He's done
good
an excellent
inside
job
position
for him.
And nice shots. Craig Alexander, good! 6-point lead for the Wildcats. Pressure now put on by the Tigers. Full court pressure. Back across the top to Eric Webb. Landis hustles over to cover him, trying to scoop it away from the outside. Inside it goes to Grieve, but he can't handle it. And the Tigers come away with the ball, with a chance to cut it possibly to three. Nice screen that time by Beaubier. Good by Craig Alexander. Nice use of the screen. J.J. Flynn with the ball, dribbling up court. 4-point lead, 56-52. Grieve, good! 6-point lead.
Well, I tell you, Jim Grieve just continues to score big basket after big basket for the Cats. Just an excellent job.
2:15 remaining in the game. Craig Alexander looking inside the Porter, nothing there. Back over to Landis. 3-point attempt from the outside. A little off that time, and Rob Smith with the rebound. Gets it out to Eric Webb, back to Paul Schloff. Now up to Eric once again. Under 2 minutes now, under 2 minutes in the contest. 58-52 Montague. They've had to struggle all night long, but when the chips are down thus far, they've come through. Landis with the foul. Paul Schloff at the line. Doug Schloff coming back in, replacing J.J. Flynn.
And that's Landis' fourth foul. So, if the Cats are smart, they're going to be afraid to take it at Landis when one of their men's got the ball and he's guarding them.
Dwayne Bruce coming into the lineup for the Tigers. Paul Schloff with critical free throws. Once again, sinks the first. Jeff, this kind of reminds me of a couple of critical free throws at Pentwater last year. The end of the game.
Yeah.
Misses that one.
Paul's done that over and over, though, throughout his career.
Greg Landis on the right-hand side, looking to drive the baseline. Nice block on the baseline at the time by Eric and Doug. It's Jamie Beckman driving toward the free throw line. Back out to Landis. Left side drive down the lane. No good. Tip up, no good. Porter with the rebound. Good! 3 shots and they get the bucket with a minute and a half left. 59-54. Wildcats, 5-point lead. Paul Schlaff across the timeline, harassed by Landis. Paul Schlaff having a little difficulty, but comes up with it. Over to brother Doug Schlaff. Doug driving left, down to the center. Tigers come up with the ball again, harassed by Landis and Craig Alexander, and they come out with it. 5-point lead, 1 minute and 4 seconds left. 3-point attempt, short, knocked out of bounds by Bruce. Dwayne Bruce knocked the ball out of bounds. Control goes to the Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats have not been playing very smart here for the last minute and a half, Larry, but I don't consider that a very smart shot by the Tigers either in that situation. Had Rob Porter posted up down inside, and that would have got him within 3, and that's what they wanted to be in a position to challenge right at the end. That leaves them still 5, and the Wildcats have the ball.
59-54 Wildcats with 1 minute 1 second left. And Jeff, we need to look back at Monday night. I wasn't here to see the contest. I'm not sure that you were, but I think the Vikings and the Tigers had this kind of a close in their game.
Right,
nobody was a runaway.
And that's what we talked about at the beginning. The Wildcats really have to be careful. They can't, get sloppy at this point and think that they've got it wrapped up now. Of course, they should look and see that they haven't, because they had a 10-point lead here just about a minute and a half ago, and that's dwindled down to half that, and the Tigers had an opportunity to put it within 2 to 3.
Cats breaking the huddle. 59-54. Minute and 1 second. Eric Webb waiting to receive the ball, put it in play. Official remind him he can go either side. Into Paul Schlaff, driving left side. Pulls up, puts it out on top to Eric, back over to JJ. Less than a minute, 52 seconds remaining in the contest. JJ Flynn dribbles through the pressure. Back to Paul. Back to JJ now.
Just ball movement. There you go. Good ball movement.
Good ball movement. You're right. Eric Webb dribbling center. And we're going to have a foul that time called on Jamie Beckman, I believe. It'll be a 1-and-1 attempt. No intention for the purposeful foul there. 36 seconds remaining. Eric Webb on the line. Eric's found himself there a lot tonight, Jeff.
Yes, he has, and these are some mighty big free throws that he has to drop right now. He's in some big shoes, and he's got to fill them right here.
Doug Schlaff coming back in for J.J. Flynn.
But so far, Eric's done just a super job tonight. When he's been on the court, the Cats have moved.
Well, we've mentioned Eric several times. He's been impressive all season long, but he's come on so much stronger in the closing weeks of the season. Good on the first. And the second. Now the Tigers need 3 possessions, Jeff.
And that's clutch right there. Yeah, they need at least 3 possessions, Larry.
Landis from the outside, off to Craig Alexander, 2-point shot, up, no good. Eric Webb with the rebound, bouncing off from Craig Alexander, and Alexander reaches in. Eric's going to be on the line once more with another 1-and-bonus attempt. 21 seconds remaining in this semifinal district action from Shelby High School, 61-54 Wildcats.
Boy, it's just been an excellent game, but it's been a kind of a game of, ebb and flow for both teams. They both have just played excellent at times and other times really struggled. I think we have an illegal lineup there, Larry, as Shelby players should not be allowed in that slot.
Coach Tate pulling all his troops down at the defensive end. Another clutch free throw attempt for Eric. A little short that time, and Dwayne Bruce pulls it down, 62-54 with 18 seconds left. Craig Alexander off the board, bounces off from the Wildcats. Eric Webb, 62-54, 15 seconds.
Well, they have to go for a quick 3 and then go for the steal, and if they don't, they have to make sure they foul.
Dwayne Bruce looking outside. Landis with the outside shot. Good! What an outside shot. That's an NBA shot for sure. That had to be 24 feet out, Jeff.
Yeah, that certainly was. It was a little bit slower than Coach Rick Zulik wanted. It took 6 seconds to get that off, but that's what they had to have. And now they got to go for that steal, and if they don't get it, they better make sure they foul. But they've got to make sure also that they foul going for the ball. They can't have the intentional foul, which would put Montague in a 2-shot situation with the ball back out of bounds.
62-57 with 9 seconds showing on the clock. Real heads-up move by the Shelby Tigers that time to take that timeout as soon as the ball dropped through.
Well, you can't take them into next season, so you might as well use them.
That's right. Jeff, the game isn't over till it's over, we always say. And regardless of the outcome, both teams can be proud of the way they've hung in there from time to time. Both teams have found themselves down by 8 or 10 points and come right back.
Yeah, and you know, Coach Tate's had another banner year, but Coach Zulik's kind of lived through some troubled times early, but his team is coming on at the end and played just excellent ball. And certainly, you know, it's got to be a credit to him and his kids for sticking it out and just playing excellent ball. I just give them a lot of credit.
Good observation.
I think foul on Landis, and I believe that's his 5th.
No, it's on Alexander, okay. Craig Alexander, his 3rd personal. And Jeff, the Tigers did exactly what you said they should do: foul as soon as they could and go for the ball, not the man. But the man they've got at the line is probably not who they'd rather have there. But he's short. Landis, 5, 4. Jimmy Beckman from the outside. Goal! 1 second on the clock. Timeout with 1 second left. 62-57 still showing on the scoreboard, but I think that they're going to count the basket. The other officials conferring at the desk now.
Well,
62-60.
A little upset that maybe a little bit more time didn't pop off that clock, but you know, all the Wildcats have to do simply is just get the ball in. They don't have to do anything else. Get the ball back in bounds to somebody, and the game's over. Once that ball hits, that timer should go off.
Jeff, they're going to get the ball underneath Shelby's basket. They'd almost be better off to throw the ball down court so it would hit some player underneath the Wildcat end, don't you think?
If you do that, you've got to make sure that somebody touches it.
That's
down
right.
There. You're right. And if it goes out of bounds, that's the worst scenario. The ball comes back out of bounds down at this end, and it goes back over to the Tigers. So I would agree with you. I'd have somebody take off, throw it. Even if they intercepted it, they'd have to sink a three-quarter court shot.
There's the basketball game. Game ends. Final score, Montague 62, Shelby 60. The ball went inside, or in the on-court to the Montague player, right back to the person taking the ball out of bounds, Paul Schlaff, and he was on the line, and there was a question about that play.
I think we were lucky there weren't 2 seconds left, because I think maybe Shelby would have got the ball back out of bounds, because Paul was jumping in, and you have to be inbounds when you do that. And as it was, though, 1 second, everything worked out fine for the Wildcats, and they come out of here with a 62-60 cliffhanger, and now they get to face the winner of tonight's second game here, the Mason County Central Spartans and the Hesperia Panthers.
Well, Jeff, a lot of people were looking at tonight's contest as the championship game. Neither team in the final, in the semifinal in the other bracket has a winning record, but boy, this night certainly proves that you cannot take anything for granted. The Tigers fought hard all night long, and certainly the Panthers of Hesperia and the Spartans of Mason County Central are not going to be pushovers for the Wildcats.
Well, you know, you have a tendency, Larry, to look at some of the teams that don't have as good a record as you, and you beat them twice and think, gee, this should be maybe an easy game. I don't think the Wildcats came in here with that idea at all, because they played the Tigers late in the season twice and kind of understood that. But, you know, it's awful very tough to beat a team the third time. That team knows exactly what you're going to do, and so it's a matter of coming in here and you have to play at the top of your game. And at times tonight we did, and other times we did not.
Well, Jeff, first game is over. Gym is being cleared for the second contest to begin hopefully by 8 o'clock. The Wildcats will go back home, of course, happy that they won, but knowing that they have to practice hard to come back in here strong Friday night. Once again, we'd like to take 1 minute to thank our sponsors from the White Lake area for their support all through the season. We appreciate their willingness to be a part of our productions. Centel Cable Television, once again, has been very important to those productions as well.
You know, Larry, I'd like just to reiterate one thing that we said earlier, and I think we said last year in the tournament play. You know, you come in here, you get that one game, and if it's bad, you're out. Last year, if you remember, the Wildcats had 3 close games in the tournament and against teams they'd beat earlier in the season, and it looks that way right now too. So Friday night's game is also a big one, even regardless who comes out of this, because the records don't mean anything at this point.
You're absolutely
one team against
right.
the other one.
Well, Jeff, I'd like to go down court and see if we can find someone to interview here. I'm not sure we're going to be able to. As we said, they're clearing the gym, and they'll want us out, I'm sure, as well. But we're going to sign off the air for now. Remind people that we'll be back on the air with the finals on Sunday night, 7:30, on Channel 5 in the White Lake area. And I think we'll just wrap it up at this point, Jeff. So thanks again for working with me here in the booth. We appreciate your help as well, and we look forward to being back here Friday night.
Well, thank you, Larry. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed this. I think it's an excellent opportunity for the kids to get exposure, and so it's been very enjoyable.
Okay. Until next time, then, this will be Larry Lindquist along with
and Jeff Peterson
saying good night from Shelby High School.